Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. Today we got a special guest. You can already see him on the screen. This is going to be an amazing conversation. Grab something to write with because we have got the founder of Alchemist Nation who is on a mission to create to help establish 100 millionaires per year. Is that now? You adjusted the was 100 millionaires now having succeeded that it's 100 millionaires per year.
So, Jeff, it's 100 millionaires inspired to build 100 millionaires. So every
Oh,
year we keep compounding.
yes. So, and Walter Amarelo, did I say that right? I want
You
to.
got it, Gualter Morel.
Okay,
Yep.
very cool. Very. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Wolf.
And how did you start that?
So the 100 millionaires came out of a place of desperation. So I went through a divorce, and at the bottom of the divorce, I was like, dude, like, I don't need to be here anymore. I'm just gonna, end life because I'm just, miserable. I've been emotionally broken, physically broken, and financially, I was worth less than I was born with. So I was feeling pretty worth less, and I just made a commitment to serve. If I could figure this money thing out, then one day I would give back and teach as many people as I possibly could. Because all I was looking for at that moment was somebody to teach me. Like if somebody would just come into my life and teach me, show me how. I wasn't asking for somebody to just hand me $1 million. I was
Yeah.
just like, somebody just come and show me the way. I'll put in the work. And so I made a commitment to do that, in that moment.
Well, because a lot of times it's about, I don't want somebody to do it for me. I don't want you to hand it for me. I'm missing a piece here. Can you help me get a different perspective so I can see that piece and get moving forward with it?
Yeah. And it wasn't until I met my girlfriend that I said, she's like, how many millionaires are you building? And I was like, dude, like, what would change the world? Like, so I said, how about 10? Because I already had built millionaires at that point. So I said, why not 10?
Okay.
And I just didn't feel good. It didn't feel like enough. Like it felt too possible. So I said 100. And in my head, that was a 3 to 5 year goal so that I could figure something else out after that point. And later on, I just added 100, inspired to build 100. And then, that's the game.
And a game changer.
Yeah.
It really has a big impact.
Yeah. It's
Because
good. Yeah.
so what?
I got stacks, bro. I just anytime we get like awkward pauses, I'm gonna hold money up to the camera.
Nothing wrong with that, right? Make a difference and get paid well for it. Nothing wrong with that. That's what free enterprise is about.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's what we're here. Like we're entrepreneurs. We solve problems, but we get paid for solving problems, and we're addicted to solving the problems, right? I mean, like you can't stop.
yeah, yeah, that's true. It's how can we make it better?
How can we
I
make
think a
it
lot of
better? Yeah,
I
like
think a
what's
lot of
broken?
entrepreneurs are those former 6-year-old kids that are going, why, 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 right? Why?
I used to take everything apart. I was like, I want to know how it works. Like, how does this work? How does this work? Why do we have to do this?
Exactly,
Why are we going? Where are we going?
exactly, exactly. So, has being an entrepreneur always been kind of a lifelong goal for you, or did you end up on that path?
My dad was an unsuccessful entrepreneur, and he started like a bunch of different businesses, wasn't making money. Look, Doug Wing's on. What's up, Doug?
Speaking of successful entrepreneurs, Mr. Doug Wing, author of
And
Giant Success, a new bestseller. Thank you so much for being with us, Doug.
and he sold giant ladders. Like, what a cool guy. So I
Yes.
was I was always like looking to do something that was unique. I never wanted to be like working a job. So like I wasn't
Hmm.
raised go to get a job, go to college, get a better job. And it was because in the house it was like, I would rather see you rich. I'd rather see you make a lot of money. Now my parents never made a lot of money. It was just my father was like, look, I couldn't do it, but I want you to do it. I want to make sure my kids can go and be millionaires, rich, be on the wealthy side. So everything you talked about would be like, the rich have money and the poor don't have money, because the rich get richer and the poor stay poor because of the mindset, because of the things they do, their activities. And like, even though I'd be like, okay, dad, like, why aren't we rich? Like, what's going on here? You have all the knowledge, you have all the stuff. And he would say this one thing. This was my dad's mental block. He's like, oh, your mom won't let me. And it's like,
Oh, ouch.
wow. Guess what? My first wife wouldn't let me either. I attracted the same disease. I contracted it, from my father.
That's interesting because both my parents were kids of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And we'd go fishing every summer in northern Michigan, north shore of Lake Huron, beautiful area. And we'd see some of the people that he had known since they were kids, and some that they'd met over the years fishing there. And they're all about the same age group, and you could see some that were like my parents, worked hard, they were frugal, and so we'd be able to have a vacation that most families would dream of every summer. That was the one thing we did all year, though. And
Yep.
then there were these other families, and he'd point them out and go, yeah, here's my friend Stan. He owns all these apartment buildings. And when we got back home, one time he drove me around and showed me, he goes, yeah, I bought these. He goes, during the Depression, there were these 3%, 3.5% interest government loans for buying properties like this. And he goes, and my friends and I talked about it, and he goes, and he's one of the ones that went ahead with it. He goes, to be honest, he goes, after it was so hard to make ends meet and watching so many people lose so much during the Depression, he goes, I just really was afraid to take that step. I thought we'd just lose it all over again. He goes, now I look back and see what they've done and how it's turned out for him. Using this one guy, Stan, as an example, he goes, I was looking at that the wrong way. And he goes, I let my fear keep me from doing it. And at the time, I was just astounded. And now at this point in life, I look back on that and I go, that is an amazing admission from someone who would, and he did 3.5 years in combat during World War II. So, and he was from a generation that they'd go out drinking, maybe brawl a little bit, buy each other beers and laugh about it kind of guy. And to hear that kind of admission, to go, you know what, that wasn't the best choice. And I want you to know about that, because maybe you'll have an opportunity to be in the same position and make a different choice. But just so that I was aware of it. And at this point in life, and I think of how big and how hard that is to make that kind of admission. And I'm so grateful for having a dad like that even though he made his choices and he lived with them and he's happy with them, but he pointed out how some of his friends made different choices, and in some cases worked out pretty well. Other cases, not, not so good. It's like, you may not want to do what this bozo did, because look at how this turned out.
That's 100% why we listen to our parents, for the stuff that makes sense, where they've admitting their own faults. Like your father and my father were able to admit their own faults, say, hey, look, this is what I've learned, passing it on to the next generation.
Yeah.
And this is what I really believed in, and this is what didn't work out for me, so take this with a grain of salt, take that with, put weight behind it. And there aren't enough people who are listening to their parents. I love it. Like,
right.
Like Doug is dropping in the chat. When someone tells me that something can't be done, I'm ready to go. That's a quote from his dad, Hal Wing.
Hal Wing. Now, as you're watching this, Hal Wing is Doug Wing's dad. Yep. And Doug talks about him a lot in his new book, Giant Success. That Hal is also the founder of the Giant Little Ladder Company. No, I'm sorry.
Little Giant.
Sorry, Doug. I goofed that up. It's Little Giant Ladder. Oh my gosh. And if you don't already have one in your garage, you need one. Gals, you too, because it's just makes life a lot easier. But that is so true, Doug. That is so true. Enough.
Go ahead, yeah.
And Doug's another successful man that had a great, learned a lot from his father. And Absolutely. We're so fortunate to have that. As I've gotten older, I've really been surprised, and my heart goes out to the guys that didn't have that, because it does make such a big difference.
Absolutely. And for any of those, guys out there who are having kids right now, thinking about, well, they don't need me. They do. Yeah.
Yes.
You want to be there.
Yes, they do.
That's,
yes, they do.
It's an important topic, because everything comes down to mindset, right? Like you and I were talking about before the call, we were talking about the market right now, like where it's going, and how do entrepreneurs survive the coming corrections and the coming turmoil. And like, it just reminds me, like, it's all about the mindset. Whatever your parents gave you, either it was the right mindset or it was the wrong mindset, or somewhere in between. But at this point, you can't blame anybody. At this point, it's bless them, thank you them for keeping you alive as long as they did, or your guardians keeping you alive as long as they did. But at this point, it's up to you to change your mindset and get yourself to that right state that makes the right decisions at all times. And there are like 3 key decisions that have to be made in order to become, we talk about being millionaires, but to be a multimillionaire or a decamillionaire or a pentamillionaire, like to get to those higher levels of wealth, you have to have this powerful mindset of making decisions that lead in those directions. And, like Ken was talking about it last week on the what was it called, the Grow Live Academy. He was talking about decision making, and I was like, dude, like this is decision making is the essence of life. Once you've decided something, nothing can stop you as long as you've decided something worth committing to, worth staying with. And that first million is a commitment. It really is.
Yes, a big commitment. Well, and it's about who we surround ourselves with as well. You know, do we have people that support our mission in life? You know, our chosen path. There's some other stuff that go in with the decision.
Yeah.
Let's put that on the side for a second. And it's also do we have people around us? Are we accepting people around us that can help us along that path?
Yeah.
You know, people like for us, you know, I got a chance to meet you. I got a chance to meet Doug Wing, who's an incredible individual as well, because of Ken Walls.
Yeah.
You know, because I've been affiliated with Ken Walls, because someone else that I greatly respect, Glenn Morshower.
Oh, nice.
Led me to Ken Walls. Right. I met Glenn Morshower because I'm part of Craig Duswalt's community, which Ken has now introduced his community. Right. Craig's awesome. And I mean, anybody that toured with Guns N' Roses, right? That's a whole.
You're winning my book.
But one of the common threads amongst all these people is all these successful men are, like you're saying, it's the mindset and being willing to learn from them. And also the fact, though, and I've seen this in a lot of successful entrepreneurs, that they are willing to share what they've learned and coach and mentor others in succeeding as well.
It really comes down to the mentors that you surround yourself with, the people you're going to ride up with, you know, your accountability group, your business partners, your close knit friends, and the mentors you're following, right? Those guides who are leaving the path behind. And then there's a little bit of, and I didn't realize this until deep after I'd become a mentor myself and started teaching. There's a little bit of paying it forward and like teaching, going back and like giving to the people behind you that actually raises you to another level faster. So when you're paying it forward, those people in the beginning, it seems like you're just putting out effort, but eventually they become substantial assets that help grow and build your business or your investment strategy. So there's this kind of 3-tier level to the people you're spending your time with. Have people ahead of you, have people at the same level, and have people who are looking to go where you've already been, so that you can, all 3 levels, kind of create momentum in the same direction.
That's powerful. That is very powerful.
That's
as you're watching this, that's what we would call a rider downer.
Yeah.
Right? There's 3 levels of people around you. Let me see if I can summarize this correctly, because it'll help me anchor it in my mind. So you get 3 levels of people around you: those that can mentor and help you move along, those that you can help, that are coming along with you, or you know, a few steps behind you, and those that you surround yourself with, that you learn from and have fun on the journey with.
Yeah. So think of it like Star Trek, right? You got the nacelles for warp. So you've got the front where you're bending space in the front of you. You got the nacelle, it's holding it all together, and you're coming out the back end of that. There's that push that comes from the space squeezing behind on the warp signature. We're going to warp, man. You got to have all 3 components to move forward.
Yeah. If you're in the middle of the crowd, you can't help but move forward if everybody you're surrounded with is moving forward, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah. It's exactly.
Here you go, Doug Wing. If you concentrate on building a business and not the man, will achieve. You won't achieve it. But if you concentrate on building the man, you achieve both. Hal Wing. Oof, that is powerful. Yes.
How can you support the people around you? If like you know, there's this term in management called servant leadership, right? And servant leadership really is, the more I'm in it, the more I'm drawn to it as the ultimate process for building a massive company. Is you look at, how do I serve my mentor? Awesome. Like whatever they need, how do I serve them? And that's usually, like, my mentors have become my biggest clients, because I'm just looking for what they want. And then we go and we produce or service it. And then there's my peer group, the people who are growing, going in the same direction with me. How do I serve them? What are they looking for? What can I do that's in line with their mission, their goals? And then there's the people who are, you know, slightly behind me, or just under, like, where I'm going or where I've been. well, what are they looking for? What kind of support do they need? And by creating that servitude, that like, yeah, it's leadership, it's guidance, but it's really just, hey, like, where are you guys going, and make me a part of it. Like, what are you looking for? How can I be a big part, or a conspirator in your mission and your cause? Like, what is it that you're looking for that I can probably produce? And it makes so much money, saves so much time, and puts so much goodwill. I might say the goodwill is worth more than your time and your money, because it
Oh,
just inspires you to keep going
yeah.
forward in that direction.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It's you see it in business valuations, right?
Yeah.
When they create this category called goodwill, where it tends to be really huge.
Yeah. Because
And
you can
that's
call
true in
any
life.
favor. Who knows? Who knows what goodwill stands for?
But it's true. It's true in our lives. Goodwill answers the question of, when everything's down, can I reach out and ask someone for help?
Yeah.
And will they respond?
And when you're building millionaires, and Jeff, I say this to people all the time, right? If you're building millionaires, who do you want to hang out with? Who do you want to owe you a favor, man? Like, the people you built feel like there's a favor there. Just like, an elephant that's chained. When an elephant is a baby, if you chain it with a really strong chain, Tony Robbins talks about this. But over time, like, that elephant gets used to the chain. It tugs, pulls, wants to get away from it. But eventually the elephant just is like a big elephant, will do whatever you ask. A different way to look at it is your children, right? You raise your children as an adult, like, children like will still have this, whatever my parents need, I'm there to support them. Obviously, if you raise them well. It's the same exact thing with entrepreneurs. If you can support them when they need it the most, when there's no reason to support them, when they have no gift, when they have no money, they have no resource, no company, no fame, if you can support them there,
Mm-hmm.
when they
Mm-hmm.
do have something, they're willing to give it, because they didn't have it without you. They couldn't have had it without you.
And you were able to see in them what others didn't. You could see the future,
Yeah.
the potential,
Yeah.
and help them with it.
Because
And a lot
they
of
have,
times we need that. Because I don't know about you, but I still have that chatter. And as you're watching this, you've probably never experienced this, where that voice in your head's going off when you wake up in the morning. It's like going, good, you're awake. I've been wanting to talk to you. You're really not going to do well today. And it's like, you're just gonna drop the ball again. So stay in bed. It's just not worth it. So you need people like yourself, like Doug Wing, that will see that potential and go, no, look, you can do this if you're willing to do the work. Which is another message I got from my dad. If you're willing to do the work, you can achieve about anything you set your mind to.
Yeah.
And I hear, Doug, again, it's not a good deal for everyone around the table. If it's not a good deal for everyone around the table, it's not a good deal.
Yep.
That's so much wisdom.
And it's truth, because the deals that we do are not little deals. They're 10x deals, right? Like, we're 10 times return on investment deals. And that's because everybody wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gaining. So there's that goodwill starts coming into it. This unseen, intangible thing that can be monetized, but we don't know how to monetize at the moment. This starts playing factors into the business, into the development.
Yes, it does. Ken Walls, couple of great dudes right here. Ken, thanks for joining us. See, and we wouldn't have met, as you're watching this. Walter and I met because of Ken Walls.
Yeah.
And we both met Doug Wing, who's been joining us in the comments. This is live. As you're watching this, like, this is 21st century television. This is live and interactive. So jump into the comments. If you got questions, if you got an insight to share, be part of the conversation. That's, it's what I learned from Ken. Thank you, Ken.
Yes, I love that, the way you operate the show here, Jeff. It's so real, right? Like, you're getting real people, real conversations. And these are millionaires, right? These are millionaires and multi-millionaires that are jumping into your comments. So this is cool.
It just, when you said that, it just gives me chills, to think that we get the opportunity, or that I get the opportunity to have a conversation like this with you and Ken and Doug, because all three of you are incredibly successful men and fun to hang out with and talk to, but also, as you'd mentioned, servant leaders. You're willing to help others along the path while you're continuing to grow your business, achieve your, you've got a lot of runway, as they used to say at Jack Welch at General Electric.
Yeah, I still got some room to go. I'm 36 years old. I set the goal to be a billionaire in the next 3 to 5 years, and that was just a financial goal. It didn't take me very long to set the decision, but how I do it, what I'm doing to get there is cool. We're building an education company that like educates people how to make money, how to become millionaires. And that is
Mm-hmm.
a guarantee. It's not like the colleges are like, well, we're going to teach you stuff. You're going to get a degree at the end. We'll guarantee a degree. For us, we're going to build a business while you're in school, right? Like, while you're doing it.
If I had found, when I was a youngster, a young adult, if I had found an offer like that, the only reason I went to college, well, there's two reasons I went to college.
Yeah.
One, they told me in high school that I could graduate early if I went to college. Now, how crazy is this to go, you can't graduate just to go get a job? I'm like, really? You don't want me to work for a living, but I can
Isn't
go
that
to,
the point?
yeah, right. And then the second thing was I was able to get into an engineering program that had they had like a 94% job placement on the back end of the program.
Which is what you were
Right.
sold. You wanted a job. You
So I'm
went to
like,
the thing that sold the job.
they're like, do you want to do this? Like, I don't care. They're hiring. Let's go. Show me what we're doing at the time. But there wasn't a, hey, we'll mentor you in how to start a business. I didn't get that message, even though I was surrounded. I missed that a little bit with some of the pointers my dad gave and whatnot. Yeah, this is great, Doug. Love Walter Amarelo's smile and positive attitude, right? Attitude is huge. It really is. Perspective is everything.
Yeah. This is who was it? Glenn Morshower said it the other day. We were on the call and Glenn said, positive attitude activates, positivity activates. And I said it to my girlfriend and she texted it to me this morning. She was out on a walk and she was just like, man, like positivity activates, such a powerful concept, because also pessimism activates or negativity activates. So it's like whatever you're thinking about, you get more of. So think about the things that you desire in your life. And
and as a youngster, as a teenager, I took the wrong message from some well-meaning statements, like, this is the best years of your life. Enjoy it. And I'm like going, I'm 14. I have no control. I'm in puberty. Life sucks.
This is
as good as it gets. Which looking at it today, I'm thinking, I'm imagining the intended message there was, wherever you are in life in this moment, this is the time. This is the best time in life.
Yeah.
Today, I had that perspective. At that time, I was like, oh no. So that led to some pessimistic thinking. And trust me, I can affirm that after extensive testing for many years with that kind of attitude, it attracts some pretty incredible crap.
It's the truth. And we've tested it out. We've lived long enough. And
Yeah.
fortunately, I've had mentors and friends who have lived longer than most of my mentors are double my age, right? Because that's most people don't become millionaires until they're in their 40s and 50s. And like I'm just living proof that it doesn't really take that long. It's 3 to 5 years, sometimes 2 years. So like you could just change if you can get your mind wrapped around the fact that it's possible. And like I can list thousands of different ways to make $1 million. But the easiest one, right? The easiest one I do with my students is real estate. It's like, here's how you do it. You don't do 1,000 deals. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. You do one deal of the right size, and that's it.
Yeah.
You do one deal of the right size, and it takes 3 months to put the deal together, or 6 months to do the deal. You're a millionaire. Why are you like, okay, well, I'm going to do year 1, I'm going to be wholesaling. Year 2, I'm going to flip real estate. Year 3, I'm finally going to start buying rental properties. Year 4, I'm going to buy another rental property. Year 5, and 5 years from now, I'm a millionaire from all of this work I did. When you can make $1 million from one well done real estate transaction, or one business built well, or one investment done well, one partnership done well. Like,
yep. But we don't teach people that growing up.
No.
Right. So you guys going to 10X GrowthCon in person or virtual?
I will be a 10X in person. I will be there. I'll be wearing my Alchemist Nation shirts. I'm wearing Hot Tub Business Plan right now. But I will be there in person, rocking QR code in the back of the shirt, man. 10X is just a marketing tool for me.
Doug Wing has more than 1,000 doors. That's a lot of doors.
Dude, I now hang with guys who have 10,000 doors, who have 5,000 doors, 6,000 doors. Of course, Doug has 1,000 doors. That's
okay.
So getting started.
Back up a second. Back up. What does that mean to have 6,000 doors?
You're talking about 6,000 families that rely on you for housing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're not talking about like closets in your house. We're talking 6,000 families,
Mm. That's a
kids,
big
parents.
responsibility.
It is for some. It's for our property managers. It's a big responsibility, but for us, it's just acquisitions and bringing the right property manager who has a caring, authentic spirit, who is system based and like has the rules down. And you're gonna treat those families with respect. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
But the landlord dictates the quality of the tenant because the landlord dictates the quality of the property manager.
Mm-hmm. Well, because when I worked earlier in my career, I worked a lot with manufacturing companies, and depending on whose statistics that you looked at, um, each manufacturing job supported 4 to 7 other jobs.
Yeah.
So you get a company of 200 employees, which is that's a heck of a going concern. Uh, they're supporting as many as 6,000 people out in the community
Yep.
or other families. So it's huge leverage in business, but it's also a huge responsibility.
It is. And we put about 100 tenants under a manager, 100 to
Wow.
150. So in that range, you're talking about it. It's a good sized organization, 50 to
Mm-hmm.
60 people who are running, those 6,000 unit
Mm.
portfolios. And I mean, everybody needs a job. Everybody, there's a cheerleader in there keeping everybody pumped, but you can build these things, and there is a
Yes.
demand right now. There still is a demand.
Ken Wall says Doug Wing is a serious freaking rock star. That's a truth bomb right there. But so is Ken Walls, and so are you, Walter. I mean, because
Thank you, brother.
you were mentioning, and I jumped in with something else, a thought that I had. But you were starting to talk about the academy that you created,
Yeah.
which is different from what we get in education, because this is really about success. This is something, if you participate in, you are likely going to be, quite successful as you graduate. So be careful. If as you're watching this, you hang around Walter, you're going to become successful. So think about that before you start down that path.
Said that for a while, Jeff. Like, be careful if you hang around me. Like, you'll start thinking about money. You'll start talking about money. You'll start meeting people who make money. You're going to start making money. The mission's 100 millionaires aspired to build 100 millionaires. And so those are the people who are paying it forward and teaching in the academy. So we call it Alchemist Academy. And this concept of like bringing people through the program is either you will become a millionaire, I will kick you out and give you your money back. But the idea is year one, you'll have paid off the cost of the program and still have money to pay for next year and still have money to stack up and reinvest back into the business and live your life. So it's, year one, if you've never earned, like you're a 19-year-old kid, you never earned money, like, yeah, maybe we're going to get you to 100,000 year one. But year two, we're going after the 250,000. Year three, we're going after the 500,000. Year four, we're going after that million. But it's easy with the young kids, Jeff. It's so easy because I don't have to deal with the negativity. I don't have to deal with the pessimism. I don't have to deal with, well, this one time I did a thing and it didn't work out for me. With the kid, I'm just like, hey, go run a mile and come back and tell, if you did that, then you're going to go do this. It's like, you tell an adult to go run a mile, like, but why? Like, how is this relevant to what I'm doing? Like, you just need to.
Yes. Can I take my bicycle or hop in the car or,
Like, a person just needs to take action to become successful. They need to believe it's possible and take action. Kids still believe it's possible. Adults, like, all have all this proof that they can't do it. All this, it's not possible for me.
It's the SpaceX effect.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a second here. So it says Ken Walls, crap, I owe Walter some videos. So we're having some fun with sharing Ken's comments, but see, here's the thing. Walter has this academy, these ongoing, helping you become successful, walking with you on that journey. Ken's one of the kind of people that he brings into that as well.
Yeah. So Alchemist Nation, we ask millionaires to donate courses. So if you're a specialist in something, we're asking millionaires, hey, can you donate a course to Alchemist Nation? I'll put you on the podcast. I'll promote the course. But the idea is like, we want some of these things to be very free for people who are outside of the US. Right? The global economy, 4% of all the wealth is built here in America, but the rest of the world lives on $10,000 a year. They're living in poverty. So the idea is we've got to have, us millionaires, we got to be paying it forward to them as well. Put out something where they can get access to the knowledge that creates wealth. It's not about just handing them, $60,000. It's how can you self-generate another 60,000? What's up, Tom?
Tom, thanks for joining us. You're rock star knows rock stars, right? So we have another rock star joining us, Tom Jen. Thank you.
So yeah, brother, thank you. Because Alchemist Nation wouldn't grow if it wasn't for like people like you who are experts in your field. Sharing and donating courses, like not donating money. Like, dude, we got money, right? It's made of millionaires. Like we funded ourselves. We put all of our money back into it. But it's the donating of your time, your knowledge, your information, your heart, your care, like that concern for a person who just wants to know if it's possible. And I know, like, people listening, they're like, well, I don't need $1 million. I'm comfortable. You're not the one. Just so you know, you're not the one.
That's harsh.
Yeah, because you gotta want $1 million to get $1 million. Otherwise, you're wasting my time.
It's not about needing $1 million.
No,
it's what are you gonna? It's a tool.
Yeah.
What could you do with it? Who could you help with it? How could you help your family? How could you help your community?
100%.
With that with that excess cash flow, secure your family so that you can then take the cash flow that you still got coming, and use that to help others.
Me and my partner, we own $14 million worth of real estate. And that real estate houses all of these different people. And then the building we just acquired it brings jobs into the city I grew up in. So a city needs jobs. Like, housing is important, yes, but jobs create a better economy for everybody in the city. So me and my partner, we said, okay, what would improve the city? It would be this outlet with all these different careers and jobs in place. So we created demand. We created a space, and that draws attraction into the city I grew up in. So, like, going back to solving problems with entrepreneurs, but also, like, you've got to have something to do with your money. Like, it makes more money. This is the crazy thing. The more we serve, the more we help, the more money we make. Like, it's insane. It's unfair. Yeah. Like, but what the world needs, they're paid for.
How do people get involved with Alchemist Nation? And how do they get into this process?
Yeah, so you can go to alchemistnation.com and just ask a question, right? If you are not a millionaire, ask a question. Say, what's the next step to becoming a millionaire? How do I get X? Or how do I, change my mindset? Just ask us questions, because we create content based on questions. If you're already a millionaire and you want to pay it forward, if you want to go and create a course, go on alchemistnation.com, find my name, and send me a message. Say, hey, I'd like to create a course around this topic. And you and I will jump on a call and we'll build something together.
That is incredible.
Alchemist Nation, man. It comes from alchemy. The idea is take a person from pain and put them into pleasure. Take a person from a suffering existence and put them into a blissful existence, an abundant existence. Take them out of competition, put them into creation. And alchemy, we all work together in Alchemist Nation. All of our teams are, like, in real estate, it's deals, money, labor. In business, it's still acquisitions, having capital, and doing the work. So you need these kind of 3 departments. In Alchemist Nation, we put all those together: marketing, sales, production. Like, you just got to get around the right people who are going and want more and are doing things. And you get your 2 or 3 like partners, nothing can stop you, as long as you all have this big target of, I want $1 million, you want $1 million, he wants $1 million, she wants $1 million. Okay, that means a $3 million business. Let's go get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As Doug says, teaching people to fish.
Yes.
Right? Not just making sure you're covered till the end of the month, but how do you make that work for a lifetime?
My business partner came and he connected me. He said, dude, I was like, what do you want, bro? What do you want? And he was like, I want legacy wealth for my daughters. That's what I'm in this for. I want legacy wealth for the Boulding Family Trust. I said, cool. That's big enough. Let's go. I told him, I will make you filthy effing rich. It was a good reason. He had a good reason to do it. So we've been working together 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has a big impact. If you want to have a future where you're in control, you're really independent, you're really you really experience true freedom, and you want that for your family, your extended family, even your community, then you need to connect with Gualter in Alchemist Nation at alchemistnation.com. It's right there. Go to alchemistnation.com. Do you have any events coming up, or what do you have going on this year?
Yeah, we've got our big event coming up in October. It's called the 100 Millionaires Summit. So we have 100 of our millionaires in the room, and then we have 900 of our community, our attendees, coming in to meet the millionaires, to hang out. I'll bring the $1 million. So last year we had 20 people who got to take a picture with $1 million to manifest, put on their vision boards.
Mhm.
So we'll be doing that again at the summit. I've brought in some pretty popular speakers in the real estate space and millionaires. In fact, Ken Walls is going to be one of the speakers. He's a close friend of Grant Cardone's, Mark Victor Hansen.
Yeah.
Ken's going to be talking about how does he make these relationships? How does he make these cool connections? And I've got the guy who I was telling you he teaches syndication, teaches how to buy massive units, and his team, his students, have over 55,000 doors. So he's taught this group of guys who have bought over 55,000 doors in real estate. So Rod Cleef will be at the summit speaking on syndication, how to raise capital from other people, and how to do it ethically and morally, and how to get out of your own way, courage. And then I've got Invest Her, who's Elizabeth Faircloth, who has a real estate investment training company for women, just women. Investing in real estate. So it's just an epic event, man. And I'll be there. So
you're bringing together 100 millionaires to share their wisdom with 900 attendees that want to be part of that 100 in the future.
That's it, brother.
Wow. As you're watching this, what more reason do you need to go to alchemistnation.com? Right there, scrolling across the bottom, alchemistnation.com. Have an impact.
Time to get yours. Time to get your money, right?
Well, that, but also how often do you get the opportunity to be in a room with 100 millionaires that are there for the sole purpose of sharing what they've learned so that you can apply that in your life and move forward?
We're all paying it forward.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, live from China, Dennis Nurmela. Thanks for joining us, Dennis. Have a great night's rest. Be safe, my friend. A very successful entrepreneur in his own right, Dennis, and he's been in China for several years. Actually, he was at ground zero teaching at a university during the COVID crisis.
Wow.
But it is, again, and these are the kind of people that you attract into your universe, into your sphere of influence, as we like to say in business and marketing, and to have them help others.
Yeah.
Walter, this is amazing. I'm watching the time, and I promised you, I know you got a packed schedule, and I promised you we'd be done at the top of the hour. And we should do this again. I mean, we could go for hours, I think.
Yeah,
Jeff, just barely scratching the surface.
Talk about the economy, talk about the market, like anything that talks about making money or building business or investing, I'm down. I love it. So what you're doing here with the show and teaching people and sharing is keep it going, man. And let's just keep serving more people. I love it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And as you're watching this, alchemistnation.com. I'll say it again, alchemistnation.com. Connect with Walter and his team. It's amazing what they're doing, helping people succeed because they've been successful. And I see that as that was one of my big mind-blowing moments as I got to know more and more successful entrepreneurs, is how it is, how many entrepreneurs give back and help others be successful like this. Walter, you're doing great work. It's desperately needed in these, should we say, interesting times.
There's stuff coming. So we've got,
which means there's a lot of opportunity coming.
That's right.
You just have to be around people like Walter and his team in order to be able to have that perspective shift, to see where you see chaos, to see where the opportunity is in it, and to go out and seize the day.
I've never been more excited, Jeff. Thank you, brother. There's so many opportunities on the horizon right now.
Yes, there are. Walter, thank you so much for being with us. And as you're watching this is Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. This has been Walter Amarelo with alchemistnation.com. And we will see you on the trail.